It's time for the Mario Party 8 review for the Wii. I'm sorry this review took a bit longer to upload, but I actually intended to upload it on this particular date. Why? Because I thought it would be nice to upload a review on my birthday! Yay! Okay, back to the review. Mario Party 8 is the first Mario Party game for the Wii. This time, the theme is set in a carnival, with 5 different tents that each give you something different. If you've ever played a Mario Party game before, which I'm sure most of you who are watching this have, you'll know how this game works. If you haven't, the main objective is to collect the most stars by playing as a Mario character on a huge game board, so to speak. To move on the board, you'll hit a block above your head and move however many spaces the block says. There are multiple spaces you can land on, like blue spaces will give you coins and red ones will take away coins. There are usually 4 characters, and after the 4th character moves to his destination, all 4 players will play a minigame. Whoever wins the minigame will receive coins. The more coins you have, the more chances you have to buy stars. At the end of the main game, your stars are added up, and whoever has the most stars wins. If there are 2 or more players with equal amount of stars, the winner is the one who had the most coins, along with stars in the end. So it's not too complex. It's actually pretty simple once you get going, but there are many crazy twists that can either help or hurt your chances of winning throughout the time you're playing. Green spaces will trigger an event on the board which can either be good or bad, depending on which space you landed on and which board you're playing on. Usually, you'll gain coins from green spaces, and sometimes you'll lose coins, or sometimes you'll even be moved to a different location. A lot of this game is about luck, unless you are really good at determining when you need to hit the number block. Most of the minigames, at least in Mario Party 8, take some skill to win. Some of them can just be 100% luck, which I don't really like, but most of the minigames take some skill. Since this Mario Party is on the Wii, you will use the motion controls for almost everything. Before you play a minigame, there will be instructions for you, explaining the objective and the controls. You can even practice the minigame before you start, but I see it as a way of cheating. I'll only do a practice session if I absolutely do not understand how to play from reading the instructions, but this almost never happens because the instructions are pretty straightforward. There are many minigames you'll play, and they're not just all free-for-all minigames. Sometimes you'll play a 3-on-1 game or a 2-on-2. This is determined by which colored spaces you and the other players landed on the board. There are 5 game boards to start out with the 6th one being a bonus board. All of them have their own unique paths and spaces, so it's not just all the same. Most of the boards have a circular principle to them, but there's one board where it's just a straight line. My favorite board is the one where in order to collect stars, you have to invest in hotels. The more money you invest, the more luxurious the hotel becomes, and you will receive more and more stars. But if a player puts more money into the hotel than you, that player will steal your stars, so there's a lot more strategy in this board, and that's why I like it the best. In my opinion, and I'm gonna guess for most people as well, Mario Party is much more fun when playing with your friends. In addition to multiplayer though, there's a single player, story mode I guess, where you have to go through each game board and play against the computer and have to win in order to advance to the next board. Whenever you complete a board, whether you're playing single or multiplayer, you'll earn tickets which you can exchange for new minigames or little figurines. Once you've purchased your little trophies, you can now watch them in a parade? Ugh, come on. There's a minigame tent where you can play all the minigames you've unlocked. You can pick and choose which ones you want to play, or you can go up against another player in a certain scenario. Like this. The main objective in this match is to get 3 spheres in a row. In order to put a sphere in the chute, you have to play and win a minigame. I thought this was pretty cool. It's like a minigame within a minigame. There's a special tent where you can play certain minigames that you can't play in the regular game. You can either play as a Mario character or you're me. I'm not sure why the developers even added this tent. Some of these minigames are poorly controlled, but at least you'll win tickets for more figurines, right? Ugh. The graphics are very good. It's a Mario game, so you should expect it to have that cartoony look to it, which is fine by me. Like I said before, you'll use the motion controls for almost everything. That is, for the minigames. Most of them worked very well, but there were a few where they could be a little unresponsive. But for the most part, they worked just fine. There is no online mode, which I found surprising and disappointing. This is probably because the game came out pretty early in the Wii's life, and online gameplay wasn't really a thing for the Wii back then. Mario Party 8 is a great game. Very good graphics, great controls, lots of minigames, good amount of characters, and just plain fun. The only downside that I found was that there really wasn't anything new, so to speak, excluding the motion controls. If you played an earlier version of Mario Party before, you've pretty much figured out Mario Party 8. I noticed that some of the minigames were practically clones of minigames in previous Mario Party games, but overall, it's still a very fun game. It'd be a great game at parties, no pun intended, and I'd recommend it to anyone. This game gets a 4 out of 5 with the title of awesome.